Hello and welcome everybody to the Geek Heart Games podcast. I am your host Cody Tetrick alongside my friend Sam Suvak. Sam, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, except this temperature situation is messing with me. I don't know if it's too hot for pants but too cold for shorts. I can't figure out what to do, so just gonna have to deal with it.
It's not too hot for dinosaurs, as we're gonna find out today.
I was gonna say it's never too hot for dinosaurs, but if a meteor crashes on the Earth, then it might get too hot for dinosaurs. I mean, so they say. I don't know.
So, if you guys are hearing this, it's our rainy day podcast. If you remember the last one, we reviewed Tomb Raider. So we're coming back with another video game movie. And I mean, some people would say this is the best video game movie of all time. Some people would say this. I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth.
No.
So we're reviewing the Super Mario Bros. Movie today. It's gonna be amazing. What's up, Sam?
Is it like the first video game movie also? Were there video game movies before this one? I don't know.
I think that's a good question. That's some trivia to look up before the end of the show. So we'll come back to that.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we're reviewing the Super Mario Brothers movie. First off, so let's just say Sam bought me the DVD for this because like we talked about like, oh, we should have a rainy day podcast. We review video game movies. And so she bought me the DVD, and it's been sitting in a bag on my desk, and so we're finally getting around to.
Ooh, he's getting real emotional about it.
We're finally getting around to reviewing Super Mario Brothers, and I'm really excited for it.
To be fair, I bought this for you as an add-on for your birthday present because on Amazon it's like $3 for the DVD for this movie, but you can only buy it as an add-on if you're already spending like $25 or something. So it's like the perfect little add-on. So if you are buying something and you're like, man, I could spend $3 and get this movie, you might as well, right?
I mean, yeah, it's a good choice. I'm not gonna say it's a good movie. We'll find out by the end.
Can I just go ahead and throw this out there, okay? According to Wikipedia about list of films based on video games, Super Mario Brothers is at the top of their list with a 1993 release date. Everything else comes after that. So, I mean, we're gonna trust Wiki here, and we're gonna say it's the first video game movie of all time.
Okay, all right. I mean, and if it's wrong, don't correct us.
Who cares?
Yeah. So let's lay the scene here. So you put the DVD in, you click play, and it brings up that menu where you can click like subtitles, options, or play. Starting off, we already got the Mario theme song playing, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be good. I'm pretty excited for this.
Okay, so my first note about this is on the DVD menu, it plays part of the Super Mario Brothers song, but not all of it. It's just a small part, and then it repeats it, and it's just enough to be annoying.
And how long were you on? Were you like, how long did you sit on that menu, Sam? Like, I was there for like 5 seconds. I was like, cool, quick play.
I mean, maybe like a minute. I just wanted to see what it was gonna do.
Okay, all right.
I mean, they could have played the whole song. That's all I'm saying.
Good point. They could have, but maybe they only had licensing to that 5-second clip.
No,
that's all they had.
Not
probably.
Accurate. Because next, once the movie actually starts, they do play the theme song and they play the full-length song. And I had a question about that because when I heard it, I was like, does it seem like a little bit like it's got a little island tilt to the song, like kind of like the Steel Drum Island kind of?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Which was weird.
Yeah, very weird.
That doesn't fit with the movie at all.
More fucking weird is they followed this up by playing a cartoon about dinosaurs, and we get the ball rolling into the Weirdville.
Okay, like they didn't have the budget to do like super dinosaur special effects. They had to do their characters in the movie. They couldn't waste money on dinosaurs. I think it's fine.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's fine. It was what a weird way to start a Super Mario Brothers movie, though. I mean,
also it's 1993, so you know.
Okay, yeah, good point.
What else?
So after the weird dinosaur cartoon, we see a woman running
No,
through the
no, hold on.
streets.
In the weird dinosaur cartoon, we get some very important information. Like, I don't remember if there was a
Okay,
narrator or if there was text,
there
but they
was, there
basically tell
was.
us that 65 million years ago, the meteor hit the Earth and it created parallel realities. So the humans have our normal Earth over here, and then there's this alternate reality where the dinosaurs have evolved into human-like creatures, and they've taken kind of a parallel path, but that's the
I
basis
believe
there.
the narrator was saying, but what if this happened? Pretty
Oh,
much
okay.
setting up like it has
Oh,
happened.
see, I thought that was true. I thought all this was based on a true story.
I mean, it's very true. I mean, I wasn't alive for it. I was born in 1994, so you're the best observation I have of this. So if it's
Well,
true,
I mean,
good.
this type of thing, they keep it under wraps. They don't want the public to know about how close to, you know,
I
disaster
mean, to
we've
be fair though,
come.
like, has anyone seen Bob Hoskins since this movie? I feel like they went back and they got stuck over there.
I don't know.
Fine.
It's
All
possible.
right.
So,
So after the narration and the weird cartoon, we see this lady and she's running through the streets of New York. Um, not paying much attention, just running into people, running through traffic and stuff.
I feel like that's how New Yorkers do it though,
I guess so. I
you know,
mean, we're not from New
especially in
York,
the
so I don't feel like,
90s.
yeah, especially in the 90s. I mean, uh, and we're just continuing this like trip into the weirdest like stuff. So she leaves an egg on this church doorstep and like a little rock on top of the egg, and you're like, okay, all right. And then she books it out of there. And a couple seconds later, a nun opens the door and casually is just like, oh, cool, an egg. Picks it up. And this is my biggest beef so far. We're, we're like 5 minutes in the movie, and I'm like, okay, what? This nurse is way too chill. All these like nuns and nurses, whatever, are way too chill about the fact that there's an egg
Well,
in this church.
I feel like nuns are known for taking in abandoned children that have been left on their step. It was a rainy
Reasonable.
night. I feel like she's just like, okay, I'm going to take this in and then figure out what's going on in a minute, but I'm going to bring it in. Maybe this is some special baby carrier that's shaped like an egg. You know, she might not
Maybe
have
it's like
known.
an incubator, maybe. Like maybe the baby's like 6.
Exactly.
Okay, I see where you're coming from there. All right.
You know, she just wanted to
Um,
figure it out. She didn't want to leave it out there in case it was like a normal baby.
You're reasonable. So then we get some like scenes spliced in where the woman is running and she hops down into the sewer. Because where do you hang out in New York but the sewer? Um, all this meanwhile, the nuns are like messing with the egg a little bit. She's running, and eventually she makes it to the end of this tunnel. And this is our first introduction to who we will find out to be is King Koopa, aka Bowser, but they never call him Bowser, just King Koopa. When
Oh.
he surprises her, uh, and I don't even. It's not very clear what causes this like cave in, but suddenly there's a cave in. I think she may have hit like a support beam.
Okay.
So you're just assuming they're both dead. Uh, and then the egg starts to hatch. And what is inside the egg, Sam?
A baby.
Covered in some weird shit. Some real weird shit.
I guess. Would you
I
say
don't
it's like
know.
a fungus?
It
Is it
could be a
is it the
fungus.
fungus that you see later?
Or it could be like egg yolk, maybe?
I don't
Some
know. I
leftover
don't
yolk?
remember that part very well because like I
I don't
probably
know.
if it was gross, I was probably like, yeah,
Um,
whatever.
Once again, these nuns are too calm about this shit. Like, no way this is flying.
Okay, but the baby looks like perfectly human. So if you,
I
regardless
guess
of how
so.
you find a baby, you're gonna take care of the baby.
Sam,
Most
if you
people
found
would.
an egg on your doorstep and
Hell no.
it,
Hell no. I'm not taking something weird in my house. No. No.
I
That's
mean,
how alien
there's
invasions start,
good
Cody.
point, good point. So these nuns, way too chill.
Yeah.
Anyways, then we transition.
Can we go back to the sewers for just a second? Because as
Yeah,
we
go
were
for it.
watching this sewer part, like, I got a real strong Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vibe. I'm like, why don't we have some Ninja Turtles right now? Because, like, this sewer stuff, it's just like, what's a sewer
They would have
without
stopped King
turtles?
Koopa. That's a good point. This
Yeah.
actually could be the same. When did the I wonder when the original Ninja Turtles movie came out.
Hold on, I believe I
Because
still
like
have
straight
this
up
up.
could be
Oh,
same year.
I don't feel that Ninja Turtles has made it onto the list of video game movies.
I don't think it's kind of like qualifies as a video game movie. It's like a comic book movie.
Oh, you're correct, sir. Good call.
That's what I would think. But
Okay.
yeah, I feel like the first one probably came out around the same time, so maybe
Yeah,
it's a similar
shared
sewer they
universe.
use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you were looking it up, so they transition over to, as we come to find out, Mario and Luigi's bachelor pad, I guess you would say, because neither of them currently have a girlfriend. Uh, and first, like,
Whoa, whoa. Stop the boat. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out in 1990, 3 years before Super Mario Brothers.
see, so Mario Brothers
Ooh.
use that set
It was
probably. A little bit of
popular.
it.
They're like, kids like sewers, let's put a sewer in our movie.
Good point.
That's what happens.
So first, like, close-up thing we see in Mario and Luigi's bachelor pad is some plungers. But in the set of these, like, you've seen those like katana sets where it's like the big katana, the medium katana, the little katana, but it's plungers, and I was like, that's fucking gold. Like
I love that.
whoever was writing this movie was like close-up of plungers, but the plungers are like that katana thing every 20-year-old dude with a apartment has. Amazing. Love it so much.
All right, hold on. Just to clarify, are you saying there's something wrong with people who have katanas?
No, I'm just saying every 20-year-old in the early 2000s bought those when they first got their apartment because they thought they were cool.
To be fair,
And you got to tell me you had some,
I
and I'm
still,
not wrong.
I still have some. I didn't buy them myself. They were a gift from my friend Daniel.
Okay.
I still have them. I mean, what are you
But
gonna
I
do?
mean, 20-year-old dudes definitely bought these. Like, my brother had a roommate who had some, and he definitely thought they made him look cool. 100%. That's who buys those things. Um, so we're introduced to Mario and Luigi. Luigi is chilling on the couch, watching, as we've come to find out, he's like really into like the National Enquirer and like all these like aliens are real kind of stuff. He's definitely a conspiracy theorist. He definitely thinks Bush did 9/11. And then we have Mario. We have Mario over there trying to take calls for work because the rent's 3 months past due. So they get a job to go fix, I believe it's an overflowing toilet. And
Some type of plumbing emergency.
some kind of plumbing emergency. And so they are booking it to their car. And Luigi, as we've come to find out, apparently just has senses that he knows where to go. Who played Mario Brothers and was like, I really feel like Luigi just knows where to go. Like, it's not, I don't know, like, who, like, ascertained that about Luigi's character, that he just is like, I feel like if I take a right here, it's better than taking a left here. Like, I don't get that.
Something fun to build his character.
I guess so.
I mean, he gets suckered in. I don't know. He gets the short end of the stick being Mario's brother,
point.
and like Mario's the popular one. He's always saving the day. Luigi's just kind of there. So I mean, he needs something. So let him have
Good
his
point.
little psychic things. It's fine.
Good point. So they are driving through the streets of New York. Luigi's taking his own route that he's come up with. And then they arrive at the place where they got the phone call from. And our first introduction to who is semi the villain.
There's a few villains.
Scapelli. There's Scapelli Plumbing, which Scapelli apparently owns a bunch of different businesses. Because after this scene, we transition to a dig site. It was a construction site, but it didn't turn into a fossil dig site because the construction site had found dinosaur bones. So the local university is now looking for dinosaur bones down there. Meanwhile, Scapelli Construction, it's not liking that. They want to get back to their construction site. They're on a time schedule. So Scapelli shows up, and we're introduced to the heroine of this film, Daisy, as we'll come to find out. Scapelli starts to threaten Daisy with a little like, a lot of girls are missing lately. Maybe be done here by the night, or you go missing too. So Scapelli is a scumbag. We don't like him. He's this Mario and Luigi, so he's a sleazeball. So Daisy decides like, well, we're gonna need more security if Scapelli's gonna keep threatening me. So she goes off to find a phone, call the university, ask for security, which like hard stop. What university is sending kids to a dig site?
Oh,
And
like,
then what university would send security to said dig site?
no, I mean, schools get grants for different types of studies, so archaeological digs would be covered under that. They're just not usually like in the middle of New York City. Normally, they're in like more remote locations with like ruins and things where you would more expect it. But yeah, I mean, it happens, so
Okay.
it's fine.
Uh, so around the same time, Mario and Luigi's truck breaks down because
Oh
something's
yeah,
wrong with the radiator.
yeah.
Um, and so Mario goes into the local convenience store to get some water, pour into the radiator. Meanwhile, Luigi is going to check for some messages, which I didn't understand how this worked because he used the payphone to check their messages, but I guess you can set up a voicemail that you can call. I wasn't really understanding this point.
I mean, I know like there was stuff where you could call in to check your messages, or they might have had like an answering service where they could call in and get the messages. There was just stuff
Okay.
before cell phones that was weird. It doesn't matter. It's fine. He was calling in to see if he got messages.
Uh, and then we go over to this very strange looking character.
Oh
He is
god.
really smelling a hot dog. Like he is holding a hot dog like, almost in his nostril and is smelling it. And I was like, all right, this dude really likes smelling hot dogs. And he goes back to his car, and him and his buddy are like, oh wait, there's the girl. And they point to Daisy, who's walking up to where Luigi is on the payphone. And they're like, we gotta nab her this time. Can't let her get away. Uh,
They
I
talk
was like,
about
oh,
getting the
okay.
right one this time, which implies that they've gotten
Yes.
the wrong one previously.
Yeah,
So
so you're like, ooh, creepy.
they're real creepy.
Um, so they're attempting to sneak up and kidnap Daisy, but they, in comedic fashion, they run into one of them runs into a glass wall as if
Yeah.
they're walking out of a thing.
Some good physical
Uh,
comedy in this movie.
yeah. So then Daisy approaches, Luigi, and Luigi is starstruck. He's like, oh, hello.
God.
And he hands the phone off to her, even though on the phone they're getting a very big, like,
Yeah.
hey, we need all the plumbers you can get down here to help us. And then Daisy doesn't have a quarter. Luigi offers her a quarter, like the sweet man he is.
Luigi is so adorable. Like he's played by John Leguizamo, and like
I love that actor.
a young one. He's like it's just so weird to see like everyone so young in this movie. Although Bob Hoskins didn't look as young as I expected him to be, but it's fine. But the Luigi is just like he's so charming and he's just adorable, and you love him even though he just keeps screwing things up, and he's like not the most capable, reliable guy, but he's just charming and you love him. So I was very much behind Luigi in this movie. Do you disagree? Oh, I think you're frozen. Or we have a delay. Something bad is happening right now.
Sam.
Can you hear me? I heard you say Sam. There you are. Hi. Oh no. Is it
Sam.
okay?
Okay, hey, there you are.
Hey.
All right. That was a very long freeze.
Okay.
What were we talking about? Bob Hoskins?
I was talking about how
Oh.
much I loved Luigi, and then you froze, and I thought you were like very much unhappy with my statements about Luigi. Do you think he's also
Oh
charming
no,
and
I love
adorable?
yes, I love John. I say Leguizamo? Is that how do you say it?
John Leguizamo?
Okay, I think there's just more pronunciation on the UI part, but whatever. I love him. He was in a movie called The Pest, where he was like in a mob family and he just annoyed them all, and so they called him the Pest. It's a really funny movie when I was a kid. So yeah, I don't know what happens here next,
Okay.
but in all caps I have why dinosaurs? Question mark? Question mark?
So basically, because Luigi's so like whoo in love already that he can't even talk to Daisy. So Mario steps in and helps him out like a good wingman. He's like, "Hey, my brother likes you. We can give you a ride back to your spot, whatever you want to go." So she gets a ride back, And then I don't remember if Luigi actually asks her out or if Mario has to like ask her out
I
for him
think
because he
Mario
like
kind of
can't even
like
talk.
helps.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he helps, and so they make a date for that night, and then Daisy goes back to work, and then they go off to do whatever they do for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then I had Jesus Christ, these fucking dinosaurs, because something's going on with these dinosaurs apparently throughout this entire movie. There's a constant bringing up of dinosaurs. Like, who was like, you know what? We're making a Super Mario Brothers movie, and we really are gonna sell the dinosaur part of this.
Well, I mean,
I
I
don't understand.
guess Bowser's technically a dinosaur, so they were just leaning
He's
into
like
it. I don't.
he's like a lizard, I guess.
All right, well, we'll get to the most important part about dinosaurs much later, but
Yes.
the part that would make it all worthwhile, even if there was no other reason. So, but we'll get to that.
So we have this dinner date where we're introduced to Mario's girlfriend.
I forgot her name.
I also forgot her name.
I feel like it was like Janine, but I like feel like that's the name I always pick.
Deanna? I think it started with a D. I'm not sure. I was like, is it like very stereotypical that the Italian Daniela?
Okay.
You would think it'd be Peach, but whatever.
That was like, while I was watching this movie, I was like, oh, it's Daisy from the games, but the only game I know her from is Mario Party, and so I'm like, who the hell is Daisy really? Do you know?
Well, yeah, it's like, I guess Peach's cousin? Not sure. Like Peach's cousin, I'm pretty sure.
Nobody knows where Daisy came from. She's probably single white femaling Peach, and just like nobody knows.
Ooh.
Everybody better look out.
So I was like, is it like very typical that these Italian people are just all eating spaghetti and pasta? Like I was like, I mean, maybe they like hamburgers. I don't know.
Italian restaurants are like a typical romantic date restaurant, so I mean, there's that.
And so during the dinner date, Daniela offers to get Daisy a tan, because she's obviously very pale, because she spends all her time at dig sites. And she's like, oh, but you'd have to take this necklace off.
Dig sites should be outside, so she should be getting some sun.
Exactly.
Maybe it's like all related to, well, I guess we'll get to the...
Well, yeah, we don't want to spoil
We're going to
that big
spoil the movie,
yet.
FYI. I mean, we've been getting into it, but we're going to go ahead and spoil the whole thing. It's really old, so...
So Daniela's like, oh, but you need to take this necklace off. And she grabs the necklace that Daisy had on that we've kind of noticed. And it's the rock that her egg... the rock that the baby egg from the beginning of the movie came out of.
Alright.
Okay.
Spoiler
Daniela,
alert.
Daisy came out of the egg. She's like, oh, I've had it since I was a baby. And this is when we're just revealed that Daisy doesn't know who her parents are. Luigi doesn't know.
You froze for me again.
Hear you, so I'm gonna keep going. And so
you froze for a second, so I'm just gonna say Luigi doesn't know who his parents are either.
Yeah.
And it was really sweet when he talked about it, because he talked about how Mario took him in and was like a mom and a dad and everything for him. So it was real sweet.
So then Luigi offers to walk Daisy home, and Mario said he's going to handle driving the car back. Mm-hmm. So as they're leaving, the two creeps from the car that were trying to get Daisy think Daniela is wearing a disguise. And so they're going to follow Mario and Daniela home.
Did they think she was wearing a disguise? I thought they were just really bad at telling people apart. I thought that was like the ongoing joke, is like they couldn't tell humans apart.
I think there's specifically a line where one of them goes, "Is she wearing a disguise?" So we couldn't find her.
Okay.
So then we have Luigi and Daisy walking home, and good lord, this was the cringiest dialogue of all time.
I don't remember.
Because Luigi is pretty much just like, look, man, like if you think this is weird, I won't blame you if you want to leave me. Yeah. And then Daisy's like, I was just thinking the same thing. Like if it's getting, let me know, and you can be fine with it. And like I was just like, oh good lord, this like who wrote awkward. This? Yeah, Luigi's dialogue in general was very bad. So Daisy offers to take Luigi to the dig site to show her what she's been working on. Uh,
That's what she
so
said.
as okay, all right. So as they're making their way down there, they're kind of like looking around, and then two guys jump out this room, and then water comes shooting out the room.
First, I thought the water had started before the guys were there because they had to go back and get Mario to come do some heavy plumbing because Luigi didn't know how to do it himself. And then while they were there fixing the plumbing, the guys attacked him.
I don't know, the Scapelli guys who sabotaged
Oh, okay. Okay, they sabotaged the dig site. That makes sense. It's not the
the
creepy,
dig.
weird guys. It's the other creepy guys.
Yeah, that's
So many creepy guys, they can't keep them
uh,
straight.
yeah. And so they're like, "Oh, we need Mario." At this time, um,
Okay, Cody, I'm gonna stop you right there. I feel like we should stop the call and restart it. I don't know.
if it freezes again, I'm giving up for the night. So we're clear.
Okay,
He can go record Resident Evil 5, and we'll try this again tomorrow.
that's fine.
So how are we gonna do this? We just wanna go back a little bit. You can splice in, or
It'd be fine. You're just
okay.
talking about the Scapellis sabotaged the water and then plumbers come.
So they're Scapelli people sabotaging the big site so they can get back to doing construction. So Luigi's like, I can't do anything. Let's go get Mario. And so we see that Mario
No,
has already dropped
okay,
Daniela
to be
off.
fair, Luigi doesn't say I don't know, I can't do anything. He's like, I know exactly what to do. And then it's a hard cut to him
Yeah.
getting Mario and being like, Mario, come on, we need some help. So it was real cute.
Um, so before this all happened, Mario had dropped Daniela off, and the two creepy guys had come and kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Um, so then we cut to uh, Luigi and Daisy are at Mario and Luigi's apartment, and they're explaining everything. And Mario's like, Scapellis, and I was just like, Scapelli. Um, and I have it noted here, like, so they get back to the dig site, and there's not enough water. And that dig site would have been so flooded by the time.
You don't know how big the rest of that room or the channels that the tunnels
I
that come
guess
away
so.
from it are. It could be flooding lots of other areas that are not right there where the pipes are.
I guess so. So Luigi and Mario, or Mario and Luigi, sorry, go about fixing all these pipes and stopping the flooding. Uh, and like just as they're getting ready to finish it all, the creepy guys show up and knock both of them out and kidnap Daisy. And then once it's not even like once, it's like 5 seconds later, Luigi is awake and screaming for Daisy. And I was like, I think they would have like gotten a little bit like, I don't know, you're only knocked out for 5 seconds. That was weird. Um,
You're
so
taking too
then
many offenses with this movie. You gotta just like let
I
it
mean,
go, enjoy it.
I have it written down like 5 times. This is a batshit crazy movie, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love it.
There was only one thing that I had a problem with, and it's towards the end. So
I think I know what it is.
okay, let's be
So then
exciting.
Mario and Luigi are going through this cavern, trying to find where Daisy is.
Because they can hear her yelling like from a
Yeah.
distance, and it's echoing, and so they're trying to find her.
And so at one point they like come across this almost like it's kind of like a ravine where like they kind of have to like side shimmy, and they're like we can't go any further, and then they kind of like are right in front of this wall, and like he definitely hear Daisy yelling from the wall, it seems like, and then this very like distorted, creepy, almost looking face is like
Yeah.
poking through the wall, and then finally Daisy's head comes through and like her upper torso, just enough that Luigi can reach out and grab the necklace and rip it off of her.
He
Uh,
didn't mean to. He was trying to grab her, but
yeah,
all
he
he
was
got
he was
was
trying to grab
necklace.
her. Um,
So
so then Mario and Luigi are kind of just like, well, we got to follow her, like we got to save her.
no. Mario's
No,
like, we need to. Mario's not into this idea. Luigi's like, we're going
yeah,
after her, and Mario's like, no, don't do that. And then Luigi just jumps through the wall after
yeah.
her, and then Mario is left to be the good older brother guardian figure and follow Luigi to help make sure he's okay. So
Yeah. And so they start like falling through like the in between these two realities because hey, like the beginning of the movie said, this what if there was a parallel universe? There is a parallel universe. So we're going to it. The Mushroom Kingdom, as we'll come to find out.
Yeah.
Uh, so once they get fall through the portal, they make their way this around this like giant, like a black rock, and that'll come in later into the movie, and they make their way into what is, I guess you would say, Mushroom New York, because it's like this weird dystopian city, and like it's very
Yeah.
grungy and like not the New York that Mario and Luigi would know. So they're like, "What are we?" I think they say, "What are we in the Bronx?" And like it's like, "Good Lord."
Well, and there's really this nasty fungus stuff that's
Yeah,
just like everywhere, all over the place. It's trying to like take over the city. And so they're always trying to like get this fungus off of them. They're getting stuck in it. It's just like it's attached to everything that you come across. It's real gross. But yeah, it's a neat place because like all of the storefronts and stuff have names that have things to do with like the Super Mario games.
yeah.
So there's like a Bullet Bills maybe bar or something, and there was like a Thwomp something or other store. It was pretty cool. And this was one of my favorite parts. So they're lost and they're like, we don't know what to do. And this really nice old lady comes over and is like, hey, are you guys okay? Like, what's going on? Like, she's trying to help them out. And it's so great. And then, like, when you least expect it, she, like, reaches out and steals the necklace with the rock on it. And she's, like, totally mugging them.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Um,
Uh,
oh, with the
Somewhere in here, we're introduced to King Koopa again, and his side woman,
is second in
Lena,
charge.
second in charge. Second in charge. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So the two creepy guys are like, "We got her. We got the princess." And he's like, "Good. Now where's the rock?" And they're like, "Plumbers have it." And so he pretty much puts out like an APB almost for the plumbers.
Oh, that might
Um,
be why the
so
old lady
this is
stole it.
when, yeah,
Yeah.
this is when the old lady pretty much mugs them,
But
and
then,
then
after
the
she
best
mugs
part.
them, this is awesome. Then, this badass lady with rocket boots, who we later find out is named Big Bertha, she comes and she steals it from the old lady and just like throws the old lady off the balcony or something.
Yeah,
And she takes off with her rockets, and I'm sorry, her rocket boots. And it was really cool. So then they don't have the rock anymore, and they're just like, well, what are we
yeah.
supposed to do? So they're trying to go track her down. Oh, and
So
that's
they're
when they run
going.
into
Oh,
Toad.
yes,
Because
the very weird Toad.
he's a street musician, and
Yeah.
he's very weird. He's not short at all. He has a normal sized head. I don't know. No special
And I guess
hat.
like his like hairstyle of this like spiral shape into his head was supposed to be the mushroom top. Who knows?
Who knows?
Um, so he's singing a song about King Koopa and how he's the worst, and that's when the police show up and arrest him. And then they turn and see the two plumbers, and they're like, "Get the plumbers!" So they arrest Mario and Luigi. Um, I want to know if this happened to you. This is not tied into the movie at all, but when they got to prison, did your like the like black bars that were on the side just shrunk even more, and then I just had a very like small rectangle on my TV.
I have no recollection of that, but I believe when I started the movie, like it was very small. It was just like a rectangle, and then there was a black like portrait around the whole rest of it. And so I had to like use the zoom on my TV function to like make it fill the screen. Because like it wasn't
Okay,
big
see,
enough to fill the screen.
it wasn't doing that until we got to the prison scene, and I was like,
Oh,
the prison scene shrunk my screen. What's happening?
I have no idea.
Um,
That's weird. It's a cheap DVD. Who knows what happens?
yeah, good point.
Also, I
So
will
Mario and
say
Luigi.
this,
Oh,
it was filmed in 93, so like the film quality is not great. And when I first put it in, I was really disappointed and not looking forward to watching this movie because I'm like, the quality is so bad. But it's so whimsical and fun that it won me over. So I was like enjoying it. And I didn't even care what it looked like after I got into it a little bit. So definitely
um,
okay.
at some point we get a glimpse of the Goombas, and I completely forgot these were supposed to be the Goombas. I was like, oh, these are the Koopas, and I was like, no, 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 these are the Goombas.
Yeah.
And good lord, are those some nightmare fuel? Like, I love the way they look. I think they look so funny, but like,
So they're huge. They have like
yeah,
these huge bodies, huge shoulders, and then these tiny little heads. And like they've all
yeah,
got kind of different types of lizardy heads. But
because
I mean, I
dinosaurs.
guess I get it, but I mean, they're kind of cute, really. I don't
Yeah, like, I don't agree.
scary
Yeah.
cute, maybe. I don't know. Something will happen later that
Um,
will make him even cuter. That I don't know how you could have nightmares after that.
Good point. Uh, so a police officer comes and gets Mario and Luigi and is like, "Hey, you got a lawyer here?" And it's King Koopa pretending to be Mario and Luigi's lawyer. Um, and for some reason, King Koopa is a germaphobe
I
with
did
like
not understand what was
I did
happening.
either. And like, there's a line coming up later that I was really just like, I am so lost.
Like,
For some
because at
reason,
first you saw him and he was like dipping his hands in something and it looked like wax, because then it was like peeling
yeah.
off later. And like he didn't want to shake their hands and he was just
And then
like,
he
I don't.
did, and then he was like spent like a good like 5 minutes wiping his hands.
Yeah, it was real weird. Unclear.
So yeah, very weird. So Mar and Luigi end up like trash talking King Koopa to him, and then he's like, "Well, I just have one question for you both." And he grabs Luigi and is just kind of like, "Where's the rock?" And Luigi's like, "I don't know what you're talking about," uh, and like throws him down. He's like, "Why would you do that, man?" And he's like, like verbatim spits back a line that Mario said about him being evil, slick back monster, and that's when we get our first showcase of they're gonna go to the de-evolution chamber.
Yes.
Um, so they walk in and Toad, poor Toad, is in the chair and he's getting pushed back and like he's like, with this machine we can de-evolve people or evolve them to certain periods. So I think they set it to Jurassic for Toad.
Yeah.
Um, and so Toad is turned into a Goomba, but he's given a little harmonica,
Oh, because he
and
had a
that saves
harmonica
it.
before.
Yeah, he was playing the harmonica in prison. And I attest this movie to the reason I love harmonicas. Like I bought a harmonica once because I thought they were cool. And this is the movie. This I watched this so much as a kid.
That's crazy.
Um, so
I
just
lied. There are
as
two parts that I have problems with this movie. So the evolver de-evolver thing is just like this helmet that comes down over their head, and then it like messes with their DNA and completely changes them.
yeah,
And like this is how the Goombas get made. But like, how's that work? You'd think they'd need the whole body to be in something, because the whole body changes. It's but we let
yeah,
it go. It's fine. We don't have to deal
yeah.
with it.
Because Toad's just a normal sized dude, and then he's a
Like
seven
it's
foot
fine.
tall Goomba. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not. I don't know. It's a
it's
very
fine.
weird premise there. Um, so King Koopa is pretty much threatening them, saying, "You're gonna go in the chair next if you don't tell me where the rock is." And then Mario and Luigi get the upper hand, and they uh, they knock out one of the cops, push King Koopa into the chair, lock him in place, and then Luigi goes over to the machine, sets it to de-evolve, hits the button, and they're trying to get out of there. And so Koopa gets hit by the de-evolve ray, and all that changes is his eye. So wasn't really sure like what that was about.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
it didn't. It was weird. I'm sorry. There are three things that I have problems with. So that when Koopa gets de-evolved, it doesn't like do anything really, and that was like, what? What just happened?
yeah,
Like, there's nothing to
it's
stop it from like completing the de-evolution. There's no reason why it should have not worked.
yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, they make their escape, which is cool.
Yeah, there's a nice fun prison escape scene where like it includes some zip lining almost and
Yeah.
uh
Oh, and they
the
get
first
this.
case of the fungus looks like it's trying to help them by giving them something. But Mario kind of like it's like, no, Luigi, stop it. You're crazy. Come on.
Yeah, they take these really cool cars that,
Yeah.
like, it's because they have these big
It's
not
almost
antennas on the back. It's like a static, like like a cable
Like
car
almost
it hooks in. Maybe.
like bumper cars, how they're
Yes.
connected to that thing at the top. It's
There you
almost like
go.
that, but
Hmm.
then you disconnect from it, and I don't
Sometimes.
understand. Yeah, sometimes you disconnect from it.
But it's like as
Um,
long as you're still close enough to the grid, it was okay. But then they end up going out into the desert where they're off the grid, and so like the car stops. But there was some really fun
yeah.
car chase scene
Oh yeah, I was like,
going on
this
there.
part of police chase scene was really fun. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool stuff. Like, they end up on top of a car at some point.
Yes.
Um, Now this is like the very biggest nitpick in the world. So these two police cars are next to Mario and Luigi, and so Mario hits the brakes
Yeah.
to get away from them, right?
Hmm.
And so then they go inside this tunnel, and they're going into this tunnel, and Mario out loud goes, or Luigi's like, "Hey, slow down, man, slow down." And Mario out loud goes, "There's no brakes on this thing." When legitimately 5 minutes before, he hit the brakes. So, like, no,
That's
like, come
true.
on.
That is true.
Um,
I missed that.
so they go into this tunnel, and like they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and like Luigi's like, "You need to stop, you need to stop." They go out the tunnel, and the fungus catches them,
Oh
and
yeah.
like pretty much brings their car down to the very bottom, and
Hmm.
stops them from crashing and dying. They're kind of hanging there. Um, Around this time, uh, we find out that the two creepy guys' names are Spike and Iggy, two of the Koopa kids. Um, and so King Koopa, in his effort to make them better, is going to evolve them and make them smarter.
Well, because he's
Um,
just real frustrated because they keep failing. They cannot do anything
Pretty
right. They
much.
can't get the
Yeah.
right girl. They can't get the plumbers. They can't get the rock. They're just like so stupid. So he's going to try to evolve them to see if he can make them a little bit brighter. It turns
Yeah.
out one or both of them are his cousins.
Yes. Yeah, I guess that's the line because I guess he doesn't have kids in this, so that's the
Yeah.
line is that they're his cousins. I haven't noted that Spike has a really sick haircut. He's the one who had the shaved sides and the cool hair.
One of them, I don't remember if it was which one it was, but the actor was on Lost. Um, I don't
Okay.
recall the
I think it'd
actor's
be
name or
Spike.
the character in
Um,
Lost, but he was, I think, in the Dharma Initiative. So, yeah, so that's
so
cool.
then during this, we have a check-in with Daisy. We see what's going on with her. She has met with Daniela, and then
Oh,
Lena comes and get her
well,
from the
because she was
room.
with a bunch of women. Because apparently there were like
Yes.
five. Because there'd been like a newspaper article we saw earlier where there were like five or six missing women in New
Yeah.
York, and apparently they're all here because these screw up guys, Spike and Iggy, have been picking the wrong women for a very long
Yeah.
time. They just can't get it right. So she's with all these other women.
Selena goes and brings Daisy to a room and kind of like it's like just get dressed or whatever. And they put her into the I guess you would say stereotypical pink slash purple dress that Peach would wear. And so this is where I'm kind of like, all right, I get like maybe Peach is too far of a name to like get, but like, did we just like have to name this woman Daisy? You couldn't just be original? Like, I don't understand. And I kept waiting for Mario to call Daniela his like Peach or something. I was like, ah,
Aw.
but no, it never happened.
Yeah.
Um, so Daisy's in a room and like motherfucking dinosaur just walks out of nowhere. And I'm like, holy shit! It's a cute looking dinosaur, like super cute. And then King Koopa walks in and reveals that that is Yoshi. And you're like, oh fuck yeah,
Yay! It's
Yoshi, cool.
Yoshi! I love Yoshi so much. And
Um,
poor Yoshi
then he
is
gets
chained up. He's got like a chained
yeah,
collar and he's chained to the wall and he's clearly abused. And he just like he
definitely,
wants to make friends with Daisy because he just wants somebody to love him. It's real
yeah.
sweet.
And so right as the time Yoshi's introduced, King Koopa comes in, uh, and is being a real big creep. Like some line about you know what they say about a girl? She never forgets the first time she kissed a lizard, and then he sticks his tongue out and does that like, ugh.
It was
Ugh.
super disgusting, whatever he did with his tongue. I was like,
Yeah.
like, no, that is not okay.
Um, and so after this, we cut back to Mario and Luigi are in the
Oh,
desert.
wait, real quick.
Oh,
my most important note that I had written down was, I think, in this section, Koopa kicked Yoshi, fuck Koopa.
Yeah, straight
So
up.
that's
Fuck
all
that
I had
dude.
to say. Fuck Koopa.
So we cut back to the desert where Luigi and Mario's car was. And now Iggy and Spike have found them, and so this is kind of weird because like they're supposed to be smart, but then they pull this like Three Stooges thing where like they can't control this car, and they go off the side of a cliff and fall into like a mud pit almost. And so then Mario and Luigi tie them up, and they're like, "You're gonna help us get Daisy. We'll get the rock for you, and then you help us get Daisy." And you're
Yeah.
kind of like, "Oh, okay." Like Mario and Luigi don't realize that they're the bad guys. Okay, whatever. Um, So they steal the garbage truck and they get out of this like desert garbage area. And this is where I'm just kind of like, man, this is a really dated movie because they apparently at this point I've told them like, oh, this woman with like red spikes, and they're like, oh, Big Bertha. Um, so they're like, well, she usually hangs out to this club, I guess. Um, so Mario and Luigi change at some point into these clothes, and they're
Oh
walking on
yeah.
these steps, and Luigi's like, uh, what is this? Who wears this? And Iggy is like, oh, it's my ex-girlfriend's. And Luigi's like, this is so feminine. And he says it with like a disgust in his voice, and I was like, oh, this is such a dated movie. Like, good
Yeah.
lord. Um, so they spot Big Bertha right after they drop off the tool belts because plumbers keep their tool belts on at all time.
Yeah.
And this woman calls the, I guess, Koopa police on Mario and Luigi.
No, they dropped them at the coat check. They dropped their belts at the
The
coat
coat check,
check, and
yes.
then the coat check
And
lady phones it in.
calls.
So yeah.
So their big plan is to woo over Big Bertha after Big Bertha knocks Mario the fuck out.
This is my favorite part. Mario's like
I
so
like
full
this
of
part.
himself. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go use my charm on her. It's gonna be great. He tries to flirt with her. She punches him in the face.
Whack.
So he gets back up and he's like, hey, would you punch me again? Because like that was the greatest punch that's ever
Yeah.
been thrown in the world. And like that is exactly what Big Bertha needed to hear. She's like immediately won over and is just swooning over Mario because he appreciates the way she punches.
Uh,
So that made me real happy. And then they're dancing for a while, and like Mario has to get real creative to like grab the necklace, which is like floating down by her cleavage, and he eventually
yeah.
gets it and leaves.
Yeah, it goes to get out of there when at the same time Lena and the Goombas show up
Yeah.
looking for the plumbers and the rock. So randomly Mario and Luigi apparently just played football as kids, and they start like, Luigi's like, blue 4-2, hut hut hut, and they start like chunking the rock back and forth, and it eventually falls like right in front of Lena, and she steps
Yeah.
on it right as Mario's going for it, and so then they're like, well, we just gotta get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
let's just book it. So they go and they get their, they're gonna go get the tool belts back, right as Big Bertha returns to save the day and hold the Goombas back, and explains how the Thwomp boots work,
Yeah.
because that's like the jetpack boots that she had on earlier. They were Thwomp boots.
Well, it's real cute because when she first appears, you're like, uh-oh, she's ready to kick some ass because Mario left her in the middle of the dance. But really, she's like, no, I'm going to help you guys because she still is under the Mario
I think
spell.
she like knocks out the coat check lady. She's just
Oh, probably,
knocks her
yeah.
out.
She's badass, man.
And then right before she leaves, she pulls Mario in and plants one on him. And I was like, I ship it. I'm there for it. Big Bertha
Oh,
Mario.
yeah.
So they're escaping the police and the Goombas on the top of this building. And I think they jump into the back. They jump back into the back of another trash truck because it's going to King Koopa's building.
I don't know.
At some point during this, they do this handshake where they collapse hands and they go glug 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 glug. What is this? Like, was the director like, we need to like show they have a bond? What if they had a secret handshake where they go glug 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 glug? Like,
I mean,
I didn't understand it.
I'd say in '93, secret handshakes were still pretty cool.
Would
So-
they? Okay. Did you have
Well,
a lot of secret
actually,
handshakes?
For the target market of youths, I think even today
guess
they
so.
think a secret handshake was pretty cool. I mean,
If you do the glug 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 handshake to this day, please write in and let us know because I want to know because like that'd be something.
to be fair, I want to know about any secret handshake that's going on.
I mean, that's not a secret then.
Well, I mean, in fact, there's a secret handshake, but you don't have to know like what it is or how it works. You just have to know that there is one.
Good point. Good point.
I don't know.
Then we have some more scenes with King Koopa. Um, I had written down he's a pretty good actor, but there's a scene where he is in this mud pit talking to Lena.
Yeah.
I think this happened way earlier, actually. I think this is when, um, before Iggy and Spike go to the desert. But
I
I
think
just
this is
remembered
what
it.
spurned them into getting evolved because he was so mad at how stupid they were while he was in the mud.
Yeah. And he goes, "You know what my favorite thing about mud is? It's clean and dirty at the same time." And this is when I was just like, "What the fuck is this germaphobe thing?" Like, I'm so confused.
He's just
Like, it was just very
creepy.
weird.
Just
It was
creepy for
good
creepy's
actor.
sake.
Like, I'll give
Yeah.
what is his name?
That's
Dennis Hopper.
yeah.
Very good actor for this. Like, you could tell he was like, "I'm playing a weird fucking character. I'm going all in." Um. So
Somewhere about this time, the Mario Brothers break into Koopa's
yes, they're in like a
tower, I
basement
guess.
almost.
And while they're in there, that's where they have to like find some new clothes to like sneak in, I guess. And that's where they find their iconic plumber outfits in red
Yeah,
for
they're
Mario and
down.
green for Luigi.
Yeah, they're down in the basement almost, and like they're like, "Oh, we'll freeze the lizards." So they start messing with the
Oh,
pipes and stuff.
yeah.
Randomly, Luigi, and I mean Mario sprouts some like plumber advice about like if you're friends to your tools, they'll be there for you no matter what. And I was like, "What? Okay, whatever."
Whatever.
Plumber logic.
And while this is going on, it cuts back to Koopa, who's like in a surveillance room, like checking everything out, and I think he sees where they are or whatever. But also, he calls to order
And
a
orders
pizza,
pizza.
and he wants the Koopa special, which that cracks me up.
And he's just
Okay.
like, "I want this, this, and this. No mammals." And I'm like, "What?" But the best part of this all, because this is where we reveal that their TV remotes are fucking the guns from like arcade cabinets where they have to point at the screen and shoot. And I was losing it at this point. I was like, "What are these remotes?"
I think I missed
Um,
that. I didn't even get that. I was so happy about that pizza joke. And then that pizza joke keeps going for the rest of
Yeah.
the movie. Because, like, later he'll be, like, doing something real serious and he'll be like, "And where's my pizza?" That was great.
Um, I think right after this is when he shows Daisy her father. And her father is the fungus that's been
Yes.
growing all throughout the kingdom.
It's really
And
gross.
she's
It's
very
it's
upset by it.
it's incredibly gross. There's this
It's a
pipe
very weird
that's
thing.
hanging from the the ceiling, and then like there's this like orb of a ball of gooey nastiness that just like kind of like hangs down from it sometimes to like see what's going on, and I guess that's like her dad, but it's disgusting and very weird.
It's
I didn't,
very
I didn't
bad.
care for it.
Um, so then, from what I remember, uh, Lena has the rock, and she hasn't told King Koopa she has it. So she is gonna do it all on her own to prove to King Koopa that she deserves to be second in charge. So
I
she
felt like at
goes.
that point she was just trying to take control. She was like,
Good
"Fuck
point.
you, dude," because he was
Good
being a
point.
jerk. It was a
Yeah,
coup.
because she wants to be with him, but he just wants to like be the ruler, I guess. And like I think she also had some jealousy thing where she thought he was gonna try to be with Daisy.
Well, I thought he was gonna try to be with Daisy.
Probably, yeah.
It's not cool.
So she goes to Daisy's room to attack her, and I think Daisy ends up slipping away.
Yes, because Yoshi helps her.
Yes, because
saves-
Yoshi
and
reveals the
Yoshi,
tongue thing gets
Yeah.
fucking stabbed.
he gets stabbed. It's not cool.
Very sad. Um,
And then
but the funny
she,
thing before this is
uh-huh.
Toad is her like bodyguard and keeps bringing her like slabs of meat, and she's like, "I'm a vegetarian. Like I
Yeah.
don't eat anything with a face." So she makes a run for it, and Toad shows up with steamed
It's
vegetables, like the
so
good
cute.
fucking Goomba he is.
He's so
Um,
adorable. And he decides to help her. Like, he can kind of remember being a good person and, like, he wants to help. So he helps
yeah,
her escape. And then she
I
goes
will say
back. Hmm,
the animatronics for the Goombas' faces is very good.
yeah,
Like the smile and the eyes are very good.
they're cute.
Continue.
So she goes back to the chamber with her dad to try to, like, do something there. I don't know. And Yoshi shows up because he got away too. I don't know how because he was chained up. But anyway. And so she's helping him. I think she pulls the thing out of his shoulder where he got stabbed. And he
Yeah.
shows her the
Uh,
remote and how to do stuff. And I think she sees Mario and Luigi on the TVs on the
but
security.
just before this
Okay.
is the elevator scene.
Oh my god.
This is
Another
when
one of the
they
best parts.
the elevator scene is so good. So
And it makes no
they're on this
sense. Like,
elevator.
I'm like, why did
No
this
sense.
happen?
Goombas like dancing. So they're on this elevator, and then two Goombas walk in, so they hide behind those Goombas, and then more Goombas come in, and so they have to keep like shifting around the room so they don't get caught. And so finally, as like a diversion, Luigi starts making them dance to the music that's playing in the elevator.
Yeah, so he gets
And
behind him and just starts kind of weaving them from side to side until
yeah,
they start weaving. And then, like, he gets all of them going. And then, I don't
this
know,
is
I don't,
enough of this is like enough of a diversion for them to climb out the top and get out
I
through the
don't even,
elevator
see, it was
shaft.
such a good diversion. I didn't even remember how they got out. I was so focused on watching the
Exactly.
dance. Because at some point,
Um,
the Goombas, like, all turn and, like, partner up and start dancing with each other. And it was just so adorable.
um,
And then there's a callback for that later as well. Like right
yes.
towards the end, you see some more Goombas dancing. It's great.
So they get out to the elevator shaft, and this is when they kind of hear, oh, after a scene where Luigi jumps and is like, "Oh, I'm flying," but really he's hooked to this thing, and so Mario jumps, and thank God for the Mushroom King
Yeah,
because he makes the fun guy like bouncing back up to safety.
yeah.
So after this is where they can hear Daisy talking to them, and so they start to run toward Daisy. We cut back to the elevator, and I guess like the head Goomba in charge opens the door, and they're all dancing together. He's like, in Goomba speak, just pretty much like, "Stop it!" And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, get back to
Um,
work. So,
so, and what has got to be the worst meet the parents scene ever?
hold on. Before this, somewhere along the way, Luigi is talking to Mario. He's like, "Man, I really feel like this fungus is trying to communicate with us. It's trying to help us. You know, he really thinks it's sentient." And then
Yes,
immediately after him saying that, he plucks a mushroom off of the fungus. And I'm like,
yes.
what are you doing, dude? If you think this thing is alive, why are you ripping pieces of it off? Like, that makes
Yeah,
no
and
sense.
I forget when does he get the bomb.
Oh, further.
Further, okay.
Yeah.
So like I said, was worst meet the parents thing ever. Daisy's
That
like,
is
I
so gross.
need to introduce you to my father. Did you know? Did you really? I don't think so. I think it could have. This could have passed.
He's just trying to be
And so
respectful.
Luigi, I guess so. Luigi, like the respectful man he is just like, well, hey, thank you so much for making such a beautiful daughter, and it's such a pleasure to meet you.
And I
Thank
think
you
he
for all the
thanks him
help.
for helping. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, And then Daisy informs Mario that Daniela is in this room with all the other girls. So Mario is gonna go save his girlfriend. And then like legitimately like right after he leaves, Luigi and Daisy get caught by King
Yeah.
Koopa and the Goombas. Um, so we cut to, and I think after around this time is where King Koopa is informed that Lena has started the plan for the merging and gotten all the de-evolution guns
Oh,
ready.
okay.
Um,
Okay, because the big plan here, guys, I don't think we've made this clear. The plan
yeah,
is to take this necklace, this part of the meteor, put it back with the main chunk of the meteor, and it will open like a big portal where the two parallel realities can merge again because, you know, obviously this mushroom kingdom is not doing so well. It's overrun by the fungus and they just want a better shot at life, and so they want to go take over regular Earth and steal it from the humans. So it's an invasion plan.
Yeah. And like very important to this, before Mario runs away, he name drops that he was going to bring Daniela to WrestleMania.
I had
That's
that
very
written
fucking
down.
important to this movie.
That was great. I knew you'd love that.
Yeah. So then we cut to Mario, who is in the room where the girls are, and he's like trying to like be like all secretive, like, "Hey, don't, hey."
Well, he's
and
up
so
in the
Daniela,
rafters, kind of.
yeah, like hiding. And so Daniela goes to tell her friend from the Bronx, which I guess like they're just really dogging on people from the Bronx.
Well, they knew where
About
she was. They just didn't know what she looked like. So
yeah,
proximity.
and Daniela's like, "That's my boyfriend Mario," and the Bronx woman is just like, "Hey, that's Mario." And so Mario has to jump down, knock out the Koopa or the Goomba. And then he starts telling them to grab the Goomba mattress. I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." He starts unbolting this fan, and they're all freezing, by the way. And there's this one girl smoking, and this will come back in like a couple seconds. So they start sliding down, I guess, like this air shaft, and then the Goombas are not too far behind.
So they're sledding on this mattress. They're all like piled on together, and then like the Goombas are on a mattress sledding behind them. It's a chase scene down this frozen tunnel, and it's amazing.
I was like, what even is this movie at this point? So like, were they just like, how can we make this movie even more crazy? A fucking mattress slide scene. So they end up taking out the three Goombas that were chasing them, and they go flying across, and they land in the kind of same area that Mario and Luigi came out of when they first got to the Koopa City. And so good. And I just gotta give a shout out to the girl who's just still smoking this entire time. Like, cigarettes still just going. So Luigi and Daisy end up escaping the Goombas and getting outside with Mario and the girls. And then King Koopa is like out and about and is like hunting for them.
Well, and there was a weird part where like Koopas ended up in this big like pot that was hanging kind of, and like Mario had to jump and try to climb up the pot and distract him so that Luigi could go get something. I don't know. They eventually end up on the ground together to have like a final showdown. And that is when the Bob-omb shows up. And Bob-omb... Oh, what?
So Koopa finds out about Lena's plan and ends up stopping her.
Okay.
And so Koopa gets the rock back after Lena stopped. But then Lena is out there when this like fight's about to happen, and Koopa ends up dropping the rock, and Lena gets it back. So Luigi and Daisy see Lena has the rock and are going to chase her down. But then, before they leave, they give Mario Luigi's tool bag, which has the Bob-omb in it.
And there's some type of fake out, I think, because Koopa thinks Mario has the rock.
Yeah, he takes his shoestring off.
And he's like distracting him the whole time. Yeah.
So they're kind of like fighting.
Okay, but this Bob-omb, it's like this tiny little wind-up toy shaped like a bomb, and it has feet, and so like I guess he winds it up and like throws it, but does it go down in the sewer?
He sets it on the ground and it starts walking, and then it falls.
Yeah.
And like Koopa's like, "You dumb idiot mammal," and like it ends up falling through this fungus, and the fungus keeps like sending it almost like a roof go board machine down. And I mean, good for this Bob-omb for staying lit this entire time, because it was like still going.
It was a really long time. It keeps going. Like it cuts away and like has all this other stuff going on, and then by the time you've almost forgotten about it, Bob-omb comes back and like the fungus has moved it around, so it's like coming right back. And there's this shot where you're looking at it from below, because I guess it's walking on a grate again, and it has Reebok written on the bottom of its feet.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
weirdest product placement.
You know, hey, good for
Um,
you, Reebok. But yeah, and then Bomb eventually goes off.
okay, so we're
Right?
missing like a couple things.
Okay.
So right before they get to the standoff where he dropped, or actually right after he drops the bomb, we cut to Lena is putting the meteorite into
Right.
the rock into the meteorite, and this is causing the worlds to
Start
collide.
merging.
So the second she puts the rock in, it shoots her back and electrocutes her and kills her. And, like her skeleton is just in the wall.
Yes, because they'd said previously that Daisy had to do this. She was the
Yeah,
one who would
she's
be able to do it, and like that's obviously why, because a regular body could not handle it and died like
um,
Lena did.
and just for the check, that girl is still smoking that cigarette, by the way. Uh, and so Mario and Koopa are like face to face, and because the meteorite is complete, the worlds are colliding, and so they start to like departicleize. And I had written down, Luigi, I don't feel so good because
Oh my god, I had written down what did I say? Suddenly Mario doesn't feel so good.
um so they end up going to their Earth, and Scapelli is there because they're at the construction site because this is where all the people that came out of. And King Koopa grabs the de-evolution thing, and Scapelli's yelling at him,
Oh yeah.
and he just turns Scapelli into a monkey, and everyone's laughing at him. And I'm like, yeah, because we really should not be worried right now about the alien invader who has a de-evolution machine. Let's laugh
Yeah.
at the dude who's a monkey.
Monkeys are cute though. What are you gonna do?
Priorities is what I'm saying here. But then I have written down, only in a video game movie would a plumber's tools work on a motherfucking meteorite, because
Well,
Luigi takes this like
he had to drill it
screw
out
thing.
and like get it.
Yeah, they had to
You know,
drill it out.
it's fine. But yeah, he
Um,
had to get that thing out.
and then once they get the meteorite piece out, the Goombas, King Koopa, and Mario are teleported back to the Koopa City.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when the bomb
Mm-hmm.
crawls up under him. You see the Reebok logo. Weirdest product placement of all time. It explodes, sending him flying. I think Mario flying a little bit as well. Yeah, it sends him flying into the barrel he was just in.
Okay.
If I'm right?
I don't know.
And this is when Mario and Luigi both get de-evolution guns.
Yeah.
And they shoot him. He pops back down. He comes back up looking like it's like a T-Rex monster-ish, because he is derived from T-Rex, as we learned previously in the movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here. This movie is balls to the walls crazy. Yeah, because I said Toad to the rescue, because he stops a bunch of the Goombas from attacking by making them dance by playing the harmonica.
Yeah.
And that's when Luigi and Mario get the de-evolution guns to shoot King Koopa.
It's great.
And then I have written, this movie is batshit crazy for the fifth time.
Okay, because like they have that, and then just all of the sudden when they cut to like the next part, the Mushroom King has suddenly re-evolved. And like there was no, this is what the thing I had the most problem with. I was like, there was no explanation at all for why he suddenly re-evolved. It was like as soon as Koopa was gone, he like came back, but that makes no sense. So
after King Koopa got shot by the de-evolution guns once, he flew into that. He was in that thing. He popped back up. Was the alligator? They shot him again. And this is when he turned to like this like green like slime. Like they had de-evolved him to the point that he was no longer a being.
Whoa! What if this green slime that he turned into is what the turtles got into that mutated them into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
It's all connected.
Oh my god!
All the movies are connected. That would make a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, then the Mushroom King is no longer a fungus. Good. I didn't understand this. I was like, okay, whatever. So then Daisy, Luigi, and Mario are going back to where the portal would be to go back to their realm. And Mario walks over there to where it's at. Daisy pulls out the crystal, and like this like blue energy shoots out, hits the meteorite, hits the wall. It opens the portal. And Luigi's like, all right, come on. She's like, no, I'm going to stay. I need to know who my people are. I want to get to know my dad.
Yeah.
And I have written down, sorry, Luigi, your princess is in another dimension.
I like it.
Mario comes over and is pretty much just like, she's saying she's got to stay. I'm like talking to him. They end up kissing, and then Luigi practically leaves with Mario.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, is anyone going to clean up that dead lady, or is she just going to stay on the wall? Because they keep showing that Lena woman is still dead against the wall
She's
this
gonna still
entire
be a new
time.
fossil. It's what happens. It's fine.
So we cut to a couple months later, and Mario and Daniela are in the kitchen making food. Luigi's in the living room watching TV, and he's like, "Hey Mario, we're on TV." And it's the TV show he was watching at the beginning of the movie, but this time they're talking about him and Mario and how they went to another dimension. And then the guy says the name, and he says, "I would call these Mario Brothers the Super Mario Brothers." And I was like, "All right, you
Yeah.
got me there.
It's
That was
good.
pretty cool."
It's pretty good.
Um, then there's a big knock on the door, and they're like, "Hey, it's open," which, like, I guess in 1993 New York, you can just say that and not get robbed.
Yeah.
But whatever. There's Daisy, and she's like, "There's a big problem. I need you guys." And they're like,
I
"Suit
mean,
up."
hold on. She busts in looking like Sarah Connor from Terminator, looking super badass and like ready to go kick some ass. She's looking good.
Yeah. Um, and then the movie ends, and they don't play the Mario theme song again, do they?
I
It's
don't
like a weird
recall about
song.
the ending credits.
Um, uh, so what are your overall thoughts on this movie,
Hold on.
Sam?
What about the post-credit scene?
There was a post-credit scene?
I fucking texted you that there was a post-credit scene after I got done watching it. I know it was a long time
Shit.
ago. Come on.
I'm sorry, I rewatched this last night, and I didn't even think about it.
Oh, okay.
So tell me about this wonderful post-credit
So
scene.
the
that I
post-credit
failed.
scene, okay? So it's like an apartment, and you see like a Japanese businessman talking about this plan for a video game and like how great it'll be based on their lives and blah blah blah. And then the camera cuts around and it's Iggy and Spike, and they're like, "Yeah, man, the Super Koopa Cousins. It sounds great."
Okay, that's pretty good.
This is a pretty good
Oh.
post-credit scene. I can't believe you missed it.
I am real sad now. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it just for that. Um, so my initial thoughts are, this is a very bad movie, but I love it. Like,
Yeah.
I remember watching this movie so much as a kid. My brother and I watched it multiple times. I attribute it to why I like harmonicas, and John Leguizamo is such a good actor. I love him. Bob Hoskins is amazing. Dennis Hopper I thought was great.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many bad things about it, but it's got so many redeeming qualities for like how batshit crazy it is. Toad the Goomba is hilarious. Yoshi like looks really cool. Like, I'll give
Yeah.
it that. Like, it's a really cool looking dinosaur. Sam, what did you think about this movie?
I really liked it. I had so much fun. Now, when I think I originally suggested we do this as a joke, and then like we
Yeah.
got the movies, and then like I wasn't super excited to watch this. I'm like, this was a bad idea. Why did I agree to do this? This is going to be really horrible and I'm going to hate it. And so like that's why like it took us so long to actually get around to watching it, I think, cuz like I wasn't pushing for it cuz I'm like, whatever. And like even the day I watched it, I was about to put it in. I'm like, "Oh god, I'm dreading this." But it's just such a fun, charming movie,
Yeah,
and it immediately hooked me in, and I just had a good time with it. So, I definitely recommend it. You know, it's
definitely.
it's still a
It's
good time.
yeah, just don't go in there expecting some masterpiece of a
Yeah,
movie. Just it's a fun time. It's a good
yeah,
sit back with some popcorn and laugh about how stupid it is. I do wonder, like, had they ever made a sequel about this, like, what would have happened in it?
you never know.
I will say it's kind of sad that like this is the movie that pushed Nintendo away from live action movies. Like, they don't do live action movies anymore because of this.
No,
I can't blame them, I guess. But I don't know that this movie was just so stupidly good. Like,
it was good. I mean, all the actors did a good job. I thought
yeah,
at first Bob Hoskins as Mario, I was like a little, I don't know. But then once I got into it, I was like, yeah, he's doing great. And I liked how they took the
Scabelli.
story. Yeah. And like it wasn't I mean Mario is the hero, but like it was
Yeah,
about Luigi and his relationship with Daisy, you know, like he was the one trying to win over the princess. So I
yeah,
just liked what they did. I thought it was and I mean fucking Yoshi. Yoshi could sell a movie by himself. So
hell yeah.
I mean he
I
didn't
mean, granted,
talk.
like if they were going to make a Super Mario Brothers movie, of all video games you could make a movie out of, Mario Brothers is a very hard game to make a movie out of because like yeah, there's like a story there where like Mario is trying to save this princess, but like where
Yeah.
does Mario come from? Why is he a plumber and why does he have to be the one to save the princess?
Yeah.
Who's Bowser? Where did he come from? Like why does he want a princess so bad? Like I think there were some very weird choices made for this movie. Like if I had to sum this movie up in one word, it'd be dinosaurs because that's what we went with. Um, but I
I
mean,
don't think the
I think
dinosaur theme was as prevalent as you seem to think. I was like, it was fine with
they
me. It's
bring
like
up
fine.
dinosaurs a fucking a lot.
I don't know.
Like
I had
I
no
don't know,
problem
maybe
with it.
you. Okay, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Just
Maybe I like
dinosaurs came up a
dinosaurs more
lot.
than you do.
I mean, I had written down when Yoshi showed up, motherfucking dinosaur, because I was super hyped about it. Um,
There was a brief period of time where I thought Yoshi was Daisy's dad, that he'd been de-evolved into little Yoshi. But I was like, oh, I was wrong.
See, like as I was watching this movie, I kept remembering things about it. Like I was real pumped to get to the elevator scene, but I was like, oh yeah, the fungus is the dad. I remembered that. I was like,
Yeah.
what a fucking weird decision. Like, and then
Yeah.
like I guess they were just like, hey, how do we wrap up this story where the dad's the fungus?
He's fine now.
He's
Let's
he's
just
he's fine
we're
now.
running out of
Whatever.
time. He's fine. Move on. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um
Um,
Yeah, I've seen this movie before. I know I've seen it when I was younger, but I love that enough time had passed that I remembered nothing of the movie, and so it was all
that probably was
new and
great.
surprising for me because I love getting to like see something again for the first time. Like it's fun. But yeah, I didn't like at the very beginning when the baby hatched out of the egg. I was like, "Is that Mario?" Like I
Yeah,
didn't
like
know.
there's probably like up until the point where they went to the other dimension, I did not remember that part. But then like as we got past that, I was like, okay, I'm remembering this
Yeah.
stuff. Um,
And I mean, I was a little disappointed that Koopa was just like a regular human person up until the end when he got de-evolved. Like,
yeah.
it's like,
Uh, I will say, hell of a haircut. Like, if you can't be a dinosaur, like a lizard king, at least have a cool haircut. And that was a pretty cool haircut. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, so overall, really bad movie, but really fun movie.
yeah.
Definitely watch it.
You keep saying it's bad. I mean, it's from '93. It's a Super Mario Brothers movie. What do
Yeah,
you
okay.
expect? But it's awesome and it's fun.
Um, so yeah. Any final words, Sam?
Um, I mean, give Yoshi a sequel. He deserves it.
Does
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
So thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed our review of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Remember you can get it on Amazon as an add-on. It's only $3, so it's a pretty good
Ish. I
deal.
don't remember exactly.
$3-ish. So if you'd like to give us your opinion on this movie, maybe you're also feeling the need to watch some Super Mario Bros. Movies, you can reach us at contact@geekcardgames.com. We would love to hear it. You can reach out to us on Twitter and Facebook at geekcardgames. On Twitch, we are at twitch.tv/geekcardgames. And on YouTube, we're at geekcardgames.com/YouTube. And if you want to hop into our Discord and tell us how you also love dinosaurs, it's geekcardgames.com/Discord. If you guys would be so kind, we would love a review of any kind on any podcast service you use. We greatly appreciate it. Hit the camera, don't mind me. And if you want to support us monetarily, we have shirts up at geekcardgames.com/shirts. Maybe we'll get one up of us as dinosaurs. Who's dinosaurs? It's
Interesting
a good idea.
idea.
I am at Comic Book Cody on Twitter. Sam?
I'm at SKSUVAK.
All right. And those of you still wondering, yes, that woman is still smoking that cigarette. Sam, take it away.
We're just two geeks who heart games. Do 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 do.
That was really good.
I'm gonna stop there.
Very good. That was actually really good. Like 10 out of 10. Alright. You want me to host this, or do you want to host this?
Yeah, you can host it. Don't do that.
Okay.
Why? Stop it. Don't.
Sorry.
No.
I haven't been sleeping very well lately. A lot of 4 o'clock in the morning days. So
That sucks.
just feel like
And
the bags
I
under
do
my eyes
feel
are
for
bad.
you, but really, that's not okay. You're gonna need to give
Yeah.
me warnings so I can like hide. I don't want to see
Okay,
that.
sorry. Um,